We are the only South African black company that has a dual revenue stream, which is listed and unlisted, and they're both fully developed. As you know, we were the first to enter the renewable energy space. And I think the crisis in 2008 took me by storm, and I realized that I had to relook and rethink and pivot our kind of revenue stream, because we were by and large really dependent on market movements. And as the market came down, our asset base came down, and it didn't make sense to me that I had a cost base that was constant, and I had to rethink how we actually develop products that are going to make sure that we diversify from those kind of fluctuations in the market. So we came in with the unlisted space, private equity, infrastructure, debt. We've developed a very good base there, a very good name and a very good brand around our infrastructure side and our private equity side, and that's helped us to withstand the storms. When the market storms do come, we know we have a product base or a revenue stream that's really immune from those kind of beta fluctuations in the market. I think for us, it's important to kind of define which area you want to play in. And for us, the important thing was understanding and realizing that we're in a very competitive, shock-infested environment. And I didn't want to be around a shock-infested environment. So the question is, how do you differentiate yourself? And so it was a policy shift for us to actually reinvent ourselves, subsidize products that the market hadn't seen, thus renewable energy, thus the technology fund, and a few other impact funds we have that the market had never seen before. What helps us to reinvent ourselves is looking long-term in nature and saying, listen, profits shouldn't necessarily come into our pockets immediately. Let's cross-subsidize, and part of our policy is that 33% of all our profits go into new niche areas and cross-subsidize teams. So the assets have come in, but the team has also grown significantly. One of the challenges in actually pushing private equity has been that the intermediaries are not really sponsored to actually look at the unlisted space, because they need to be compensated for that.
Yeah.
And unlisted is complex. So you can't go there and say, look at listed and unlisted and pay them the same rate. They've got to be paid a different rate for looking at the unlisted space, because you paying me as the asset manager a much different rate than a listed thing. So it goes without saying that the intermediaries should also be compensated for the work they're about to do, and they haven't to this stage been compensated. So that's a big barrier to growth in the South African market. For us, it makes sense to go into infrastructure, because that's where the spend is going to be. That's where the push is going to be. And when you look at the external forces supporting this, you look at yields around the world. Yields are very low, so there's a search to extract as high yield as possible, and it's going to be African infrastructure. It has to be.